7 weeks in, halfway through the college football season, and I'm very sad but very happy that we get to review in the saddest place of all time, that being college football Reddit, where a lot of teams are going to express their sadness. A lot of Alabama fans are probably going to be crying and talking about how they can, I don't know, make Nick Saban live for another 80 years so they can win one more national championship. There's a lot of things to be talking about here, so we're going to hop into the Reddit, see how people are feeling, and go from there. First things first, appreciate y'all watching these videos. If you like these videos, like them. If you don't, dislike them. If you're enjoying even more, subscribe, hang out with us, hit the bell icon, do all that fun stuff, man. We're making daily college football content here. Now, what we're going to do is just run through the Reddit, look how sad, how happy, and see if there's any cool fun facts that Reddit typically gives us in the form of interesting takes. Now, here we go. Now, I usually keep it on hot. Sometimes I like to make it specific to the time and place that we were going in that weekend. So let's just get to scrolling here. 6 hours ago, seems to be pretty hot. Voral, University of Wisconsin, UW head coach Jedd Fisch says, we all saw what the Ohio State-Oregon game looked like. That was a battle of two $20 million rosters. Look, let's be honest here. That's what these top schools are. The quicker that we get to a Super League, the quicker that the NCAA can stop lying. In the more that we institute this idea of let's get some contracts, let's get some cap space, let's get this regulated, because right now money is just flying all over the place. And I will say, though, in almost like a Globetrotter-esque way, even in, because it's kind of been like that, the shift of power, there's always been a shift of power, interestingly enough, to the teams with the most money, and it's still in that way. It just seems that now teams like in brands like Texas, who just have money outright, and Ohio State can kind of skip that line, not just being able to recruit good people and maybe doing some things under the table, but just outright saying, yo, I'm just going to pay you money to come here. So if we've gotten to that point, we need to start drawing some lines. I agree. LSU was fined $250K after fans stormed the field following overtime Ole Miss win. Fine to be paid to Ole Miss, kind of like we talked about last week, where Vandy has to pay $500,000, I believe. No, sorry, 250,000. Sorry, just 100,000. Because that was their first time to Alabama. So I'm sure this is their not their first time because of the 250K, like we talked about, where Arkansas had to pay the 250K after they won that last minute game. Here we go. Emerson Kirby Smart said he spoke yesterday to Mississippi State quarterback Michael Van Buren and told him, I had no intentions or ill will at all. Smart said he didn't realize he had shoved Van Buren until he saw the tape on Saturday night and immediately called Coach Jeff Lebby. Yeah, I'm not sure if y'all saw that, but Coach Kirby Smart was just like shoving Mississippi State quarterback. He was trying to get to a ref and trying to talk to him. He was just like pushing whoever was in his way out of the way. But it was a rough look. It was a rough look. Hey, man, shout out to my Horns, dog. Texas linebacker Anthony Hill explains Baker Mayfield jersey decision. That was just the first jersey that I had that was OU, so he was just kind of used it. It was the only jersey we had, so no hate for Baker Mayfield. I'm actually a big fan. Come on, we can't say we big fans after slashing man's jerseys, dog. I actually wanna pop this up. You see it? You know what I'm saying? After we did how we need to do in the Red River rivalry. You feel me? I'm feeling that heavily. I'm feeling that super heavily. Just pop in here. Check this out. Oh, this is just straight up a tweet. It's just a tweet. Oh, update. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey says penalties should have been called on Smart. I am confident the contact was not intentional, and the clear expectation is the conduct will not happen again. Interesting. That's getting a little it's getting a little saucy. It's getting a little saucy there. So that might be something that brews up. Probably nothing too terrible, but at least something to kind of take a look at there as something that can continue to develop. Okay, school session. Almost 6 years after becoming Ohio State's head coach and 3 years after Jim Harbaugh's third base comment, Ryan Day remains 90 feet from home plate. Man. Just cannot win the big games. Hey, I don't know who you are. What's this dude's name? I don't know what's this dude's name, but this dude does SEC roll calls. All of his content, every piece of content this man makes is phenomenal. He be making Southern jokes and stuff. It's great. I love it. I'm loving every second of it. SEC Big Ten considering blockbuster scheduling agreement for college football's new frontier. The Super League is here, and I'm sure all the people in Reddit were very happy about that. I'm sure they weren't. Let's first read the article. After reading the article, we'll take a peek at some of those situations here. So, it seems that the SEC and Big Ten are discussing a potential scheduling agreement that could lead to a significant increase in media rights revenue. Further, distancing the two super conferences from the rest of the college football, 4 people with knowledge of the discussion told USA Today. The people who spoke to the condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity. Woo! Is you J. Cole? Grippy, dog. Okay, the people who spoke to the condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity of the conversation say that the two super conferences could face off in as many as 12 to 16 regular season non-conference games a year or more to determine to the extent of the increase in media rights revenue. They're just going to we can just do that. They can just play each other to see who gets more money. Well, let me read that again. The people who spoke of the condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity bars. The conversation of the two super conferences could face off in as many as 12 to 16 regular season conferences a year or more to determine the extent of the increase in media rights. Yeah, I guess they want to basically show and display all of these SEC Big Ten matchups and then see how sustainable and what that value is going to be for the market, basically. And then go to the table as a conjoined SEC Big Ten, I guess, conglomerate at that point and say, yo, give us the scunions. Give us the big, bad, big bread. This is interesting. The potential scheduling agreement is an answer to billions in lost revenue from the House of Legal case settlement of more than $2 billion to former players and future revenue sharing with players at least $20 million to $23 million annually beginning as soon as the 2025 season. An industry source with knowledge of the process indicated the only way to maximize revenue is this not crazy? Maximize revenue. We sit here and we get mad at these kids for doing this stuff and sitting for years. Like, these motherfuckers is revenue maxing out. The people in charge of the game of football, the adults, the whatever, those people only care about getting their pockets fat. And as soon as they're like, oh, wait, we have to share some of this money with the people who play the sport, they immediately are going to destroy the landscape of college football as we know it. So as we talk about who's destroying college football, let's just make sure we know who it is. It's these motherfuckers right here. SEC and Big Ten played 3 non-conference games this season. USC versus LSU, Alabama versus Wisconsin, Texas versus Michigan, and all 3 were among the top 10 in overall viewership in the first month of the season. But 3 games per season won't change monetary deals for the 2 conferences have with television partners, ABC and you know who. Double-digit games that can be promoted and sold as standard events like the annual Big Ten versus ACC Basketball Challenge and draw unique advertising dollars are appealing to broadcast partners. There are still multiple hurdles to clear, including schedule structure, format of games, and our parity and revenue distribution, but officials in both conferences see the potential in agreement as an answer to rapidly changing financial landscape of college football, a.k.a. they got to pay some people. Continuing on, let's see how the people feel about it. But the last thing the Big Ten and SEC want is the optics of collusion. From the Alliance of the Compliance edits the accomplice. Better? What? Sorry, Reddit. Sometimes I can't with Reddit comments. Everybody is just too snarky. I can't, dog. 75% of teams that did not accept any incoming transfers in the last cycle have 1 or fewer losses. 50% are undefeated. That is crazy. Now, 2 of those are Army and Navy. 3 of those are Army, Navy, and Air Force. And they can't do any transfers, and obviously because of the whole, got to join the military thing. But Clemson, them Dabo boys, and they're heating up now. But I think there is a real conversation. By the way, this is a Clemson Tiger, so we know what this is. But it's being serious. I really think that when we get to the end of the season, we're gonna see a lot of these teams with lower transfer rates be super successful. It means something with continuity when it comes to a team. And I will say those people who say, "Oh my God, college football is gone. There's nobody. They don't care about it anymore." Wrong. Go watch some FCS football. Go watch some D3 football, D2, HBCU football. Them up because isn't getting paid. I don't think they got any new NIL deals. I'm sure they can get NIL deals, but I don't think them monies went up crazy, and they are playing some real deal football. The only thing that changed about those lower leagues is that they're transferring up a lot more because of the transfer portal and because of the visibility and things of that nature. But if you're missing some good football, once ever the SEC and the Big Ten make their super duper league, you better be. I'm gonna be watching me some D3 football. I'm gonna be watching me some JUCO football, because if you're looking for passion, it's there in football, man. I'm telling you, and continuity, like I was kind of saying, that was the main point, is going to start being something that bleeds through, and some of these teams are going to be like, oh, we have to build programs because we only have a finite amount of years. I know everybody has been. That's the crazy part. We're just now, because Cam Rising is about to have another year because he just got hurt. We are just now getting out of all the people with the pandemic years. Like, this is like, I think, the last 2 years where people are going to have that extra year. So once that happens too, the transfer portal is going to change immensely because the numbers are going to shrink. I think the COVID year only exacerbated it because it allowed so many people to stay in there, and especially for another few more years. I think when we come around next year, I think the transfer portal is just going to start being used as a tool more. I really think the more I think about it, having extra people in there is making it seem bad. And these teams that are already ahead of the curve, like Clemson, it's gonna pay off for them. I genuinely think in the long run, but. Georgia is the first team playing multiple top 5 matchups on the road in the season since 1996 Florida. Look, I've had a lot of criticism for this Georgia team, only specifically because it feels like Carson Beck's not getting the offensive help that he needs. There doesn't really seem to be a lot of consistent explosion. That defense seems to be decent. I say that, but they gave up 31 points to Mississippi State, so I'm not really sure how much I can say that. But I don't know. It's a weird team. This is definitely a good team, and I think, the numbness of winning back-to-back national championships and then having basically another almost flawless season, it can make your successes seem a little different, right? And they are basically on the cusp of being just a dynasty. That's really what they are. They're in pre-dynasty mode. If they get 2 or 3 more in the next 5 years, I think we can call this a Georgia Bulldog dynasty. And they kind of keep pushing there. So and to see with them with a heavy strength of schedule, which was something that they got big criticism in the last 5 years, man. In the last 5 years, they've been getting questions about that whole situation. I think it's interesting to be able to come with this season, which you're not your most talented team, but have probably your one of your harder strength of schedules there. So it's good to see there. Kyle Whittingham, Cam Rising is out indefinitely, and Isaac Wilson will be a starter. That's what I was talking about. Because of this, he can get an 8th year of eligibility. I believe he's going to be like 27, 28 when it comes to this. It's absolutely insane. There will be a consideration. There it is. There will be a consideration. We have to consider it. Not sure if Cam has considered it. An 8th year for Cam Rising. Wow. Oklahoma safety Billy Bowman says Longhorns didn't earn win over Sooners. What? They didn't even score a touch. I guess you're saying because y'all are completely injured. I guess I can give that to you. But other than that, man, I don't know what else to tell you. Oklahoma's offense has generated 13 plays of 20-plus yards this season, 133rd in FBS. Only 0-5 Kennesaw State has fewer. Miami and Ole Miss have both put up 13 in a single game this season. So that Oklahoma offense that we beat, sorry, I'm a Horns fan. That Oklahoma offense that we beat wasn't very fun to look at, especially if you're an Oklahoma Sooner fan. I felt bad, and we were just beating y'all buns in, and I was like, man, that's very, very sad. Mike Gundy's press conference is via Zoom today because he got a head butted by. Mike Gundy's press conference is via Zoom today because he got head butted by a cow. Well, that's all we got today. What? I'm going to read a few more, but what? Can I even go after this? Wow. Absolutely phenomenal. Per NBC, Oregon, Ohio State averaged 10.2 million views across NBC, Peacock, NBC Sports Digital with 13.4 million peak, highest for Big Ten primetime game since 2008. Penn State at Ohio State 10.4. Purdue quarterback Ryan says to start versus number 2 Oregon, it would be unfair. not to. I don't know what's going on there in Purdue. I don't know what they're cooking over there. Baker Mayfield clapped back at Texas player, planting a flag through his jersey after today's rivalry rent-free in their heads for almost a decade now. I don't care, dog. Let me see y'all's national championship since we've been born. Okay. All right, that's it. I'm not about to get into bickering with you goddamn nasty Sooner fans. What I am going to do is tell y'all to have a phenomenal day. Be great. Be amazing. Be elite. Like this video if you like it. Dislike this video if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content and you want to see more of it. Hit the bell icon. Do all that, and I hope to see you next time. Comment. Let me know what the saddest, most amazing thing that you saw on this Reddit was today. All right, Isaiah, man.